Greetings and welcome, fellow commanders, because we're no longer believers in this case, to Let's Play Dark Reign: Rise of the Shadowhand. The expansion to Dark Reign, of course. Oh, I say of course. I'll be honest, I have never been able to play that particular expansion because, well, I did intend to back in the day when I originally got it. I was kind of still hung up on the idea that I actually had to, finish the original game before I could start an expansion. And of course I was still broke, living on an allowance. But aside from that, I just never could find a copy of the game that I could afford back in the day, because, well, just didn't really have the widest selection back in my home village, and I say village, and I never really went into town enough to find it, but that's neither here nor there. It is here now. But just out of context, I have never actually played the expansion, so I don't know exactly what to expect. And since I couldn't find a manual for this game, I have actually no idea what's been added or changed, specifically. Now, I did play a couple of the missions just to see if the game would run well enough and if I could record it. But even so, I've nowhere gotten near the full breadth of what is actually intended. But what I do understand, however, is that the expansion takes place sometime after the end of Dark Reign, so that the Imperium is embroiled in a two-way war against Freedom Guard and the Tograns. And the Tograns apparently are causing enough havoc, or actually winning enough, that the Imperium is losing grip, and they are, in order to maintain their authority as best they can, they are pushing really hard to get the Freedom Guard out of the problem so they can focus entirely on the Tograns. Apparently. Which, sure, actually that makes some sort of modicum of sense. I mean, I obviously don't know exactly how big the territory is that the Imperium is trying to protect, or even how much the Freedom Guard and the Tograns are actually causing. Because, well, frankly, we've not seen that. Aside from the battles that I've been fighting, I've actually only fought one actual battle against the Imperium and the Freedom Guard as the Tograns, so I have no idea how the Tograns are actually able to put up such a fight. But it would have been neat actually to see if the Tograns would develop into a faction all of their own, and develop their own units and all that. But instead, it's the Imperium and the Freedom Guard that are gonna develop factions of their own, with their own unique units. But let's get into that, with the Dark Reign expansion.
Imperium structure ahead. It appears to be a gate through fold space.
We have no choice, pilot. Run a course for the gate.
Outer hull breach. Containment unsuccessful.
Redirect auxiliary power to weapons and target their remaining engines. They must not be allowed to enter the gate.
Control systems offline. Collision imminent in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Brace yourselves.
The full gate's been damaged. We must abort.
My order stands. Hold your course.
Osiris, report.
The Fold Gate has sustained damage and 2 unauthorized craft have entered this sector. I've dispatched scout drones to identify the craft and assess the gate damage. Inform your commanders that I have the situation under control.
Understood.
Yeah. Right, so that basically just recapped what I was saying before, but that's essentially where I got that information from anyway. Freedom Guard apparently are losing badly. Well, I'm not entirely surprised considering they had an infiltrator and were essentially unable to stop massive resources of the Imperium. Alright, so there's a basic mission structure. We don't have to worry about the main goal because these campaigns are both separate entities into themselves. As far as I understand, 2 campaigns of 8 missions each. Like I said, I did play a few missions, mostly on the Imperium side, so that's where we'll start. Because why change a winning formula? And we'll see what it is. Although I do say, now that I am listening back to that intro again, Osiris, the AI that's controlling this Shadowhand base, sounds an awful lot like Cabal. Now, admittedly, I think this actually came out before CNC2, but still, I think I can see where this particular thing is going. Alright, so Force Recon. We have lost contact with one of our observation bases on the planet Nineveh. We are investigating a possible connection between the loss of contact and unauthorized vessel that has passed through the Fold Gate just before its destruction. You will be deployed to the base site to determine the cause of the communication breakdown. We will be using this operation as a field trial to evaluate how our new sentient artificial intelligence, Osiris, performs under combat conditions. You will be given control of a small force of experimental units, including the new heavy infantry Reaper and the all-terrain assault droid, the Fury. Use these new units to assess the threat and report your findings immediately. Success is your only option. So to locate every unit producing locate every unit producing enemy structure. Alright. In itself, not a difficult objective, but it is tricky. Alright, so I will be saving here. And the game is gonna let me. Good. Yes, please. Alright, so we still have our complement of Bions. Let's just bring them together. And we have Reapers. Now, the Bions are still Bions. And they are also pretty much our only anti-air defense at the moment. Aside from the mobile air anti-air defenses. The Shadow Blade is essentially just a regular blade, but upgraded to have a little bit more health, I believe. We'll just put that on 9. And then we have some new units, the Fury, which essentially replaces the Tachyon tank, I believe. It does pretty much the same thing, but it's a walker. I kinda like it. It feels less sluggish than the Tachyon tank, although obviously I've not been able to match them. And then we have the Reaper, which essentially replaces a regular infantry, more or less. It's got a heavy gun. Alright. Let's get going now. I could send out my probes here, but let's not. Because we still have some enemy air units running about. There's not really too much of an issue with the enemy overproducing units so that I will not be able to keep up.
Do not resist.
Because I don't believe there's any water on this map. Ah, damn it. Alright, let's get away from the snipper. Because I don't have any hover units that can take him down at this range. And I do need to be a little bit careful with my units. I do believe there's a rearming platform somewhere on the map. Alright, let's carefully move forward. Now my goal here is not to destroy the enemy, but just simply to find where they are hiding. I do kind of wish I had a base of some kind, so I would at least have a radar at the minimap so that I could keep an eye on stuff. But no such luxury. Right.
Squad 2.
Alright, so I'm just looking for some suspicious trees. Damn. Well, I'll have to take care of that. Alright, let's take care of that Hellstorm artillery. And that sniper. If we can still find it. Alright, I think it can't see me anymore. I do want to kind of be careful with these units because I only have 3 of them. Alright. I think I took care of all the snipers here, so let's just move out. And there's probably also no more flying units on the map. I mean, that's a big ifs, but let's see if there's any truth to it. Alright, admittedly that could have gone better, but the pathing is sometimes so bad. Alright. Try to be smart about this. mean, part of the reason why I would like a mini-map is because I have no idea if I'm missing any units. Right. Can you hit that? Alright, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Tracking activated. Time's up.
Alright.
Easy prey.
And here goes the Hail Mary, because we don't have the units now to stop this. Right, we don't need to kill anything, we just need to find all the producing buildings. Done. Oof. Yeah, that mission is a bit trickier than it seems, but luckily we don't have to destroy anything, just scout. The field test was successful. It would appear that the survivors of the Fault Gate incident are setting up a base in Nineveh. It should be a trivial matter to squash this minor threat before it becomes a real danger. This operation should also provide a perfect testing scenario for our new weapons in combat. Osiris has been redirected to concentrate its efforts on repairing the Fault Gate. Estimated repair time is 1 week. Alright, basic stats, although I don't think we did anything particularly interesting. Oh boy, I wonder what this mission is all about. But let's start it anyway. The Betrayal. We have detected a Freedom Guard scouting party near the perimeter of our base. Osiris believes that the Freedom Guard will attempt to steal our new technology. This cannot be allowed. Osiris has been granted level Alpha security clearance to assist in the operation. You will command a perimeter defense force comprised largely of the new Osiris units. Eliminate the Freedom Guard forces and secure the area. Destroy all enemy units and buildings. So yeah, I do feel that they upped the difficulty for this campaign somewhat. But we at least been given a small force, and Osiris is also still
Osiris has malfunctioned.
Doing that. Right. Let's get you set up. So basically any units that used to be Osiris is now no longer ours. Alright, let's just clear out all the traitors in our group. And we'll call it an episode here. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.